Hey everyone, it's time again to recap the latest news from the solar PV industry, compiled by the American Solar Energy Society. I'm Jay Warmke with SolarPVTraining.com, and this is what's happening in the wonderful world of solar for the week of December 1st. Now, during the summer of 2024, grid operators managed to keep the grid pretty reliable during these periods of peak high energy demand caused by the hot weather, even as they retired coal and natural gas power plants. They did so by using wind, solar, and even battery storage to meet these high load demands. That's basically the summary of a new report from the National Renewable Energy Labs, or NREL, that highlighted the success the grid operators had over this past summer in meeting electrical demand. The new report described summer grid operating conditions in several regions, but focuses primarily on ERCOT, or the Electric Reliability Council of Texas. An extended period of hot weather started in Texas in early August of 2024, when average daily temperatures reached 102 degrees Fahrenheit. And for example, on the hottest day of that month, August 20th, during the hour of peak demand, which was from 4 to 5 p.m., solar generated about 21% of the total generation capacity needs in that state. That's up over 50% from what solar contributed during the same period of time in 2023. This allowed utilities to use storage to meet this demand rather than relying on natural gas peaker plants. The American Clean Power Association has forecast that the U.S. is set to add 32 gigawatts of utility-scale solar during 2024. In 2023, the U.S. saw 22.5 gigawatts of utility-scale solar added to the grid. This year's installation numbers are set to beat that record by about 44%. Now, overall, solar installations, including residential, commercial, and utility, are up 51% over 2023. But market analysts do not expect this record growth to continue into 2025. Increased tariffs on imported solar panels, as well as uncertainty surrounding incentives that may be curtailed by the incoming administration, have led to projections that the industry will actually see a 16% drop in solar installations in 2025. The growth of utility-scale solar has resulted in a dramatic increase in the amount of solar power delivered, particularly in the summer months when the amount of sunlight available as well as electric demand are both at their peak. This year, for example, on the hottest day of the summer, power generation from solar was up 83% compared to the same date in 2023. Well, there's certainly uncertainty here in the United States regarding the priorities and how we're going to transition from the fossil fuel economy to the renewable energy economy. This is not the case worldwide, where this transition is well underway. According to a new analysis from the think tank Ember, evidence is growing that the planet has already reached or is just about to reach peak carbon emissions from the energy sector. Worldwide coal consumption is down considerably. In fact, a third of the richest nations in the world are now coal-free in their energy sector, and coal consumption is down by 50% over when it peaked in 2008. This year was another record-breaking year for renewable energy installations, but increased demand for electricity, which rose dramatically, has also seen an increase in demand from fossil fuel generated electricity. Now, according to the IEA, the International Energy Agency, they're projecting that even though we're seeing a huge increase in renewables, that actually fossil fuel consumption within the energy sector will only be down about 3% by 2030 over what it was last year in 2023. Brazil has reached the 50 gigawatt milestone in operational capacity for solar energy, according to the Brazilian Electric Regulatory Agency. This milestone puts it amongst the top 6 nations in the world that have reached that 50 gigawatt capacity level. They're behind China, the United States, India, Japan, and Germany. Now, rounding out the other top 10, we have Australia, Spain, Italy, as well as North Korea. Currently, solar energy accounts for 20.7% of Brazil's electric generating capacity, second behind its largest generating capacity, which is hydro, which produces about 60% of electricity in Brazil, and third place is wind. So in combination, Brazil ends up being one of the least carbon emitting electrical grid operations of any nation in the world. India has also seen a dramatic increase in the amount of solar that's been installed, catapulting it into third place behind China and the United States. In fact, the solar capacity within India has grown 26 times in just the last 9 years. And that's the news from the solar industry for this week. We'll see you next week.